Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. So I have an interesting article that I wanted to share with you. The article is coming from Cord Cutters News. The link will be down below in the description. So what we're going to talk about here is a comparison between the three big carriers, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. There was some testing done by OpenSignal. OpenSignal did testing from April 1st to August 1st of 2023. What they did is they measured all three networks at the time. T-Mobile had been in the lead. All right, these tests were done at 20 of the largest airports, they're saying. All right, 20 of the largest airports. And what they measured is they measured the reliability of the network, the speed of the network, so the load times, drop calls, and overall better streaming. All right. So T-Mobile came in number one. Now, what's important for you guys to know is that at this time, there were some issues with AT&T and Verizon. There was a gap between the carriers simply because AT&T and Verizon were delaying deployments because of the ongoing issues and concerns that airports had regarding 5G buildouts. We all know about this story, or many of us should know about this story. We've covered it here on this channel. It's basically news that's kind of been spread all over if you follow wireless news. So, to be fair, T-Mobile was doing its thing and just continuing to build, and we know they had a major boost when they purchased Sprint and whatnot. So AT&T and Verizon, of course, were behind, and until the situation was rectified between the airports where they can build up and basically be reassured that 5G would not cause problems, AT&T and Verizon delayed, which cost them money, by the way. It was an issue for them, and it was an annoyance for customers that, and businesses that were waiting for 5G and were basically relying on it because they're getting possibly poor LTE where they are. So anyway, that was taken care of. AT&T and Verizon did go ahead and start to build out. So they're saying since deploying 5G, AT&T has seen a 30.4% increase in download speeds, and Verizon saw a 22.1% boost. They're saying that OpenSignal showed only a 5.7% increase for T-Mobile and noted that there was no statistically significant improvement for its 5G download speeds. They're saying, however, still, T-Mobile customers saw higher overall speeds, averaging 174.5 megabytes per second in August, compared to Verizon's 132.2 megabytes per second and AT&T's 126.9 megabytes per second. So they're saying the big difference here is the addition of C-band spectrum. This is what's making the difference for AT&T and Verizon. So they are saying T-Mobile's download speeds were 2.4 times faster than AT&T's and 2.1 times faster than Verizon's before the 5G C-band rollout. So they're saying now that these companies can access their full range of spectrum, T-Mobile's lead has shrunk to 32% faster than AT&T and 37.5% faster than Verizon. So as mentioned, OpenSignal collected data for 90 days. This was from, once again, April 1st to August 1st, within 2 miles of the center points of Baltimore, Washington, Thurgood Marshall, Boston Logan, Charlotte Douglas, Chicago O'Hare, Dallas Fort Worth, Denver, Houston George Bush Intercontinental, Las Vegas, Harry Reid, Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta, New York, JFK Los Angeles, Miami, Nashville, Newark Liberty, Orlando, Phoenix Sky Harbor, Ronald Reagan Washington National, San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle Tacoma airports. So a lot of testing was done. And again, it all depends on whether you have any faith in what OpenSignal does. If you feel that they deserve the credibility, then, you will either take this with a grain of salt or you will be interested in this and it'll make you think. So what I'm getting at here is T-Mobile is a great network. It's a great network. But I think as far as reliability, we have to credit AT&T and Verizon. It's something that I've always said. I like T-Mobile. In fact, T-Mobile is my daily driver. I use T-Mobile. It seems to work very good for me where I am. It's also affordable. But when it comes to, I guess, overall reliability, stability, and just an overall solid performance, I think we would have to put our faith in either AT&T or Verizon. A lot of people are going to go with Verizon. As far as, put it like this, the overall reliability and network broth, should I say, I think would go to AT&T. I think that they have the largest network, right? I've said this a number of times. They're just everywhere. Now, when it comes to the experience, the download speeds, the uplink, all that good stuff, that is going to go to Verizon. They have a faster 5G network. AT&T's 5G network is slower. Deployments they're just not where they need to be, which is a lot of why. Verizon has been steadily building and they're doing a good job. It's consistent, it's working, and I'm starting to notice more of a solid improvement with the network as well. There was some times when it was starting to lag a little bit, and it's still not perfect. Okay, neither of these carriers are perfect. It is market specific. There are some customers that experience better network quality than others, and it really is the location where you're at, what you're doing. All of this is factored in to the equations. If you're testing at a location that favors Verizon, that has towers built all around it, of course the experience is going to be phenomenal. If you're testing T-Mobile at a place that favors AT&T, where there's AT&T towers all over, wouldn't you be better off testing AT&T? So we have to be fair. We have to be equal when we discuss these carriers, and we have to be open-minded and not just say one carrier is the best because we want it to be. We have to look at, and again, I'm not the most experienced person in the world here to tell you which is the best network, because that's a matter of opinion and that's a matter of your daily needs and what satisfies you. Any report can tell you this network is perfect or that network is perfect. It really wouldn't matter, to be honest. When you, like I said, when you choose a network, you need to choose the network that is right for you. I always say this: find a network that fits your needs, has the benefits that you're looking for at the pricing that you're looking for, and what you believe is the best quality for you. Meaning, call reception, if you care about the speeds. Like I said, if you compared AT&T and Verizon speeds, network speeds, hats off, it's going to Verizon in most cases. There are certain locations where AT&T pops off and it just goes full blast. And when it's hot, it is hot. And it's the same thing with T-Mobile. When you catch that solid ultra capacity with T-Mobile's network, it's off to the races. T-Mobile's network, when it's good and you're in a solid location for T-Mobile can be on fire. But they're gonna be the first, unfortunately, when you leave that large city area, to be the least reliable. And then it would be a battle of Verizon and AT&T. Now, some have experienced better results. in situations like that with Verizon. They have said that Verizon's been the one to hold on with that, one bar and that reliability. Many will say it's AT&T. I think in most cases, both parties are right. It's both. I think AT&T's network is larger, so I think you can have that reliability further, the further you travel, the distance, because it's just a larger network. But again, as far as network quality, that experience, should I say, Verizon's network is faster. That 5G network is definitely more of a thrill for those that appreciate that. So basically what we're getting at is, T-Mobile got credibility for flying high when these tests were done. But it's interesting to see that once C-band has been deployed for AT&T and Verizon, how they're catching up. So when these next tests go around, I'd be very interested to see the differences. And this will show you, I guess, which network, if you truly value this information, it'll give you an idea of which network would be your better choice, depending on your needs, of course. If you feel like, well, if I can take my phone to the airport and it's the most reliable there, or I can travel here or travel there, that may be something that you care a lot about. That may give you the confidence to choose, say, Verizon over AT&T, or AT&T over T-Mobile, or T-Mobile over all of them. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. At the end of the day, I love T-Mobile's network. I think it's great. I wouldn't call them the most reliable. If you really are looking for the most reliable network, I would say choose AT&T and Verizon in most cases. But again, you need to choose the network that works for you in your situation. That means your budget, that means what you're looking for, and that means where you use the network. If you never leave your hometown, and T-Mobile works great in your hometown, and you literally never travel outside of that area, and it's a good price, and you like the perks, then that's the network you should choose. Same thing for any of the carriers. So we need to take that with all this information with a grain of salt. I'm just literally pointing out that, T-Mobile has won some battles, lost some battles, so has AT&T and so has Verizon. But I found it very interesting to see, once C-band has been rolled out, how the scales tipped and how T-Mobile suddenly was falling back and the others were catching up. So, I guess T-Mobile's got some work to do, and 41 isn't enough to keep them ahead. And eventually, AT&T and Verizon are going to continue to build out. And, if they don't become larger, they can certainly become more efficient. And many will say, well, that's already happened. And, you might be right. At the end of the day, does it really matter? Well, it depends on who you ask, right? For some, reading these reports might excite them enough to say, well, I'm going with the most reported, the best reported network, which, for whatever month this is, Verizon can be in the lead this month, T-Mobile can be in the lead next month, and AT&T can be in the lead the next one. So again, we're all customers. We all have different requirements from our network. And, that's why I say to each his own. Options are always good, right? But according to this article, T-Mobile was ahead. Then they started to fall back. So interesting stuff, I think. Anyway, as always, thanks so much for stopping by and watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.